Alrighty, let's get started. So I always start with my brows. I make sure I brush them out first to make sure they look as natural as possible and to make sure all the hairs are going the same way. I then use my Anastasia dip brow pomade in dark brown, and I use little strokes to make them look more hair-like. I start on the bottom and then fill in the middle. I use the least amount of product in the front because you want them to look as natural as possible. You also want to make sure that they don't look strong and boxy in the front, so just make sure you're careful around the front of those eyebrows. I then conceal them with my Sephora concealer. I compare this concealer to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It is very lightweight, but it's a fraction of the cost, so it's very cost efficient. And I just carved those out. You notice my concealer is not too much different from my skin tone. I don't like extra bright, like highlighting my eyebrows. I want them to look natural. Then I'm going to blend that out with my beauty blender, making sure those edges are seamless. Then I'm going to use my NARS Luminous Weightless foundation, and I believe this is in the color Macao. I'm just going to dot that all over. And I follow a couple of makeup artists. Like I said, I'm still learning. Molly Magic, she does makeup for Anastasia, and I've been learning a couple of tips from her. But if you have textured skin, you want to push the product into your skin. I'm working on my skin. It's not as smooth as I want it to be, so you want to use a stippling brush or a buffing brush to push the product into the skin. It's going to make skin look a little bit smoother. Before I applied any of this makeup, I used a primer. I used the Hourglass Miracle Veil. I got a travel size. Most of my products are travel size. I like to try it before I buy it. Products are expensive, so I don't want to buy something that I'm not going to like. You want to make sure you get your ears and your neck. You don't want your face to be one color and your ears and your neck to be another color. Then after I stipple that product onto my face, I'm going to push it in with a beauty blender. Make sure all that product gets in there and any excess comes off. Now I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This helps highlight a little bit. I don't like an extra bright highlight. I like a subtle highlight. I am now contouring. I like to use two different colors to contour. This is LA Girl Pro concealer. My contour is not too dark. I don't want it to be very, very noticeable, but I do want those areas carved out. Give me those popping cheekbones. I then use one side of my beauty blender to blend out that concealer, and then on the other side I will use the other side of the beauty blender to blend out the contour. Blending is so very important, so please make sure that everything is blended. It gives you a flawless, seamless look. I always contour my nose to give me that button nose effect. I think think it's so cute. I am then setting my under eyes with Laura Mercier's translucent powder. This is key if your under eye area creases. It helps with to combat those lines so that your product doesn't settle in those creases. And I also put it in all the highlighted spots, and my makeup also settles in my smile lines, so I put those on the side of my cheeks as well. Putting it in those highlighted areas makes everything look more chiseled and makes all those areas stand out. I am then setting the contour area with a dark e.l.f. contour kit. e.l.f. has great products. You can find them in your local Target for about $6 or $7. I'm also going to set my nose with that e.l.f. product. And to make sure everything comes together, I'm using a MAC Studio Fix powder. And this just sets everything, make sure everything looks seamless, everything is blended. And I'm also brushing away that extra powder. I'm then going to set it with some MAC Fix Plus. And this just makes all of that look like skin. Now to the eyes. I use a Morphe 350 palette. It has about 28 to 30 colors in it. Most of them are brown, so I grabbed a couple of darker browns and just began to blend them in my crease. Blending is very important when creating eyeshadow looks. It may take a while, but make sure you just keep moving that brush and the product will spread out. Now I'm going to pack this light pink glittery color on my lid. I got this from Makeup Geek. I'm in the process of building a palette from Makeup Geek. Again, those eyeshadows are inexpensive, so go on their site and check them out. And you just want to make sure everything is blended. You don't want to be able to tell where you stop the pink shadow and began the brown. I am highlighting my brow bone with a golden color and highlighting my inner tear duct with a lighter champagne color. And then I am going to repeat the same steps on the other side, still continuing to blend. As you can tell, blending is still very important. Now I'm packing this color on my lid again. If you want a better color payoff, spray that brush with a little bit of setting spray and it'll just stick to that lid. Now I'm adding blush. I'm going to a MAC Soft and Gentle and just tapping that lightly on my cheekbones. Then I'm going to go in with my highlight. I love the Anastasia's Just Glow Kit. I'm using the color Bubbly. It just makes everything pop. As you can see, it makes my button nose stand out. It's just so pretty. Now I am lining my lips with a NYX dark brown lip liner. Then I'm going in with the new color from Maybelline. Blending those two together. Reapplying that lip liner a little bit. I'm then going in with a little bit of lip gloss. Still highlighting the inner tear duct. I'm adding just a pop of color on my lower lash line. It is the Venetian Red from the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. As you can tell, I love Anastasia. Okay, y'all, so I still struggle with lashes, but I have a couple of tips. You want to make sure you're looking down into your mirror so that your lashes go directly on your lash line. You also want to let your glue dry just a little bit so it's tacky. I applied the other one off camera, and I also did my wing liner off camera. But here is the finished look, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching.